Hi there, this is Bill again with Safety Environmental Testing, and I want to give you a brief introduction into mold testing. Mold testing can be divided basically into three general categories. The first category is called non-viable testing. That means samples are collected from a variety of methods and cultures are not grown. The types of mold are simply identified at a genus level and then they're quantified and counted. This type of testing is really good when you're doing a preliminary building investigation. It's good to get an overall feel, particularly for the indoor air quality, or if you're concerned that a certain material is in fact mold. We can actually do direct swab sampling to identify whether or not something is mold or how much mold is in the air. The second type of testing that you can look at is culturable sampling. And in culturable sampling, what we do is we actually collect a sample, whether it be air or direct means with a swab or a tape lift or something to that effect. And then they actually grow the sample, they grow the mold in the laboratory. It takes a couple weeks, and they can actually identify down to the species through this method. It's a good way to do mold testing, though it is more expensive than our non-culturable testing methods, which are by far the least expensive. The third type of sampling that we do is typically it's DNA based, and we're going after not just going after the species of mold, but we can also, through our dust sampling, provide you mycotoxin testing. This comes in really handy if you have a situation where you've been diagnosed with a condition, a physician has identified a certain type of mycotoxin in your system or a certain type of mold in your system, and we can actually at the species level identify whether or not that's in your home. It's a great thing, especially when you're under the care of a physician or if you're working with an attorney. But again, it's more expensive, and the turnaround time, like with the turnaround time on culturable samples, is 2 to 3 weeks. So anyways, that's a general introduction into the types of sampling we do. We can also do sampling via air, where we collect 75 to 150 liters of air. We can do direct sampling, where we actually collect swabs or tape lifts, where we actually touch the suspected material and the lab analyzes that. We can also do dust sampling, where we vacuum up certain amounts of dust, and then of course that dust gets analyzed by the lab through either for the EPA ERMI testing or mycotoxin testing. Those are some of the things we can do. I guess the one thing I do want to say is we can do bulk sampling as well. If you have a filter from an HVAC unit or something to that effect, we can cut some of that off and the lab can analyze that. Well, I hope that answers your questions. For more specific information on the types of testing we do, please click on the links on this page, and I'll tell you more about the different types of testing. Have a great day.